Monday and the holiday weekend is over. Monday and the holiday weekend is over. Monday and the holiday weekend is over.
That's what I'm feeling right now. Fucking I wonder how the Monday after Jesus rose or whatever was in the world. 'Cause it feels to me like I get that there's like Easter, but for some reason it does feel to me as if like the Monday after was like that should have been like a monumental thing or some shit. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, sensitive niggas. Let's go over my sensitive shit.
One thing your ex gave you that you can't quite get rid of.
Gang, 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 gang.
What's that one thing your ex gave you that you can't quite get rid of?
Gang, 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 gang.
Audio is fucked up, it looks like, on that shit. But anyway, the point with that being is I saw that this morning and it triggered me. I was in a good mood and then I saw that and I got fucking pissed because I don't like the fact that kind of shit exists in the world. Like, that's how sensitive I am, apparently. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, this is the weird thing. Like, I didn't want to have children my entire life. Like, it was a very big deal for me. I would only date people who didn't want to have children, which is a difficult to do. When I met the mother of my child, that was actually outside of any of the other big issues. That was a big thing because she didn't seem to agree with me in the fact that I didn't want to have children, and so that didn't. It seemed as if even just for that reason we shouldn't get together, right? The thing is, though, I love, one of the things that bothers me a lot is that I'm not able to be the type of father that I want to be. Because one of the reasons I didn't want to have children is because I knew that for myself, it felt as if my life would be more about that child, at least for a long time, or it should be. And that's I haven't been able to do that for various fucking reasons. But anyway, seeing a meme like that, what's crazy about that is, like I said, it upset me, but it also upset me because I didn't see the whole thing. Like I couldn't even watch the whole thing, and didn't realize that the kid ended up like hitting him in the back of the head, which I'm hoping that means it was like a setup and it was like a joke or whatever. Versus that's the type of relationship they actually have. So there's that. Just moving on that, and then I find it interesting that there are many people that even if they've watched up to this point, this is where they would stop. But anyway, going through my fucking morning, I ended up seeing Al Sharpton, his morning thoughts, which I like to. I actually haven't seen them in a while, and I stopped seeing them just mostly because I actually followed a couple things, and then basically, it felt as if, why the fuck am I listening to this person? But it's also what it is. It's, what I find interesting is what I find what he said this morning, knowledgeable is something that you need to pay attention to. In other words, like what, even though I myself have just spent some time thinking, really not paying attention to this person, it is not as if he doesn't ever have anything to say, or you could throw out the whole person because there's certain things. Like there's certain things that I definitely judge Al Sharpton on, or I feel are questionable, that I would at the very least need to have some more knowledge, whether before I would be able to respect him to a certain level. But that doesn't mean that he's not saying anything that you shouldn't listen to. You know what I mean? And I think it's weird. I'm one of those weird people apparently that I don't get how people don't get that. Like, very truly, my last interaction with this person, in a certain sense, you could say, was betrayal. Like, I felt as if I was betrayed by the fact that I was listening to his words. I took them seriously, and it didn't necessarily seem to work out or what I wanted. But that's the kind of thing too. It's not really about that. So anyway, let's move on. let's listen to this man for a minute here.
Easter, dealing with your own crucifixion and rising up to the new you. But I heard an expression yesterday that I want to warn you as you go about the beginning of your new work week. Someone said, and I loved it, that with new levels come new devils. Thought that was very true.
Seems to be.
Because as you now resurrect and become a risen person that have risen above some of your complexes and some of your insecurities and go to the next level, since those are the things that were holding you down, you're going to get new seducers, new critics, new adversaries. Monday and the holiday weekend is over. You're going to get new.
Oh, I don't know about the bet you not shit, but you know, I was gonna approach this very differently, but then as I reheard it, it's again, it's one of those things where, why am I so special? I mean, like literally, like at this point, sometimes I believe that it could be, and I know this is crazy. I'm not even gonna go down that route, but honestly, I'm very apparently I'm very special because from even what he's saying, I should have already had more seducers and more new devils and all that kind of shit. Although again, recently I did meet this kid that whole interaction, when I relook at it, it's like, wow, that really was similar to seeming as if I was talking to the devil in the flesh that day. But anyway, at least online, you would think from these lives and shit like this, I would have more, would have a new levels of haters out there or critiquers and all this shit. But people, it's amazing. It really is kind of amazing to me how special I am. Like I said, I'm dealing with so much fucking shit. I don't even want to go into the specifics. Although that shit with my cousin really is, it is releasing to kind of let it go. To have at least finally talked about it. But it's also, that's a crazy how long it took. So yeah. Anyway, this is just, I want this one to be really quick. This is more about the fact that it's kind of amazing that I haven't had any reaction except for the Jinkster reacted to me. That's great. Whatever. But that's not, it's silly. And then it's weird how different I feel. It's really hard to even understand. It's just like, even when I was in the hospital, like yesterday I was thinking about my health, and it's like, even when I was in the hospital, my mindset was so different. And it's you can observe it on my account. It's just the odd thing is we're talking years, like pretty much stuck in a certain mindset or a certain like place or whatever, or emotion or things like that. And now it's just more like how I remember myself, you know what I mean? Like even that shit with this morning, like I said, with that meme, it's like, yeah, it triggered me. It kind of hurt my heart. It angered me. But there's a point in time, and you could see it. There's a point in time where I would do an entire post about it. I would be extremely emotional. It would feel very intense. And the very odd thing about it, man, for me is, it's not as if it really does feel like a hex. It's like the best way I could put it. It feels like a hex, or like I really do need to do a kind of a summary of that. But when you see on TV, like where somebody's like converted into some kind of animal or some other thing, like on Bewitched or shit like that, it felt like that, where it's like, I know I'm myself, but like, in other words, like break down that meme. I know that could be a joke, or it's not necessarily, it is a big issue, but it's not necessarily something that I need to take that seriously, and the time and effort and everything to express my thoughts about. But at the same time, I did because, whether it had been a hex or, this was my thought process on it, whether it was a hex or whether it was just me, psychological problems I was dealing with. Um, I had to deal with the fact that I couldn't see a meme like that and not react very intensely to my emotions and the facts involved of a parent and child relationship and things like that. Um, it's just odd. It's just so odd. So there's that, and yeah, with the work week. That's the whole fucking thing too. It's like apparently I can't work, but at the same time, my doctors ain't doing shit to help me fucking kind of figure out what the fuck to do in my life, and that's also with everybody else. So it's all on me apparently. Um, and so I gotta fucking. It's just that's a lot. I got my cousin who, again, that's one of the weird shit. It's like, is he either committing fraud? I don't, is he committing fraud? Because realistically, why are you really using my address like that? But um, there's that. Um, and yeah, there's that. So fucking Monday, I got other shit to do. Just wanted to hop on this real quick because it's kind of crazy that I couldn't even. For those who may have followed this account or can spend any time on it, you could see the journey. You can see the journey. It's hard to explain to myself and others, or even have, I think, a really full understanding, because this seems so easy. It seems like not a big deal. Um, Oh, I guess, yeah. Let me get that out real quick. The whole thing too, though, is that this is not what isn't. No matter whether it be hacked psychologically, whatever. This is so not like me. Like, being on social media is not like me. Um, my dream life would, I guess, in a certain sense, be that I'm not on social media at all. I just have like my wife and my children or child and uh, a, a good life, but it doesn't necessarily need to involve social media. And so, like, it is really weird because we're talking now, 8 years of basically me doing the opposite in a lot of ways of what is my instinct or what is me, in an effort to try to find me in a certain sense, or get back to not feeling, yeah, not feeling like there's a hex or anything else involved or shit like that, or at least currently affecting me, or whatever you call it. 8 years, that's a long time. It's a very long time of doing this shit. And somewhat suddenly, uh, I feel that the world is different. I'm different. It's a lot to kind of just be like that quickly, and it's hard because nobody else can. It's not that there's nobody else that can relate, because there's people that have, they're bullshit, and I could tell up to a certain point. But so it's not as if no one's paid attention. But at the same time, I don't. It's difficult to believe that anyone can actually understand and not have had any kind of reaction to the fact that I'm even just able to do these lives. It's just it's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. Like I said, for myself, there was my own little psychological issues, and this seems, it sucks because it's as if, for anybody who's actually watching this, in a certain sense, it feels as if maybe I'm critiquing you, in a certain sense, because it just is what it is. Like, I have always felt that for myself, not in a judging way. So in other words, really not judging anybody else, but for myself is not something that I've wanted to do. It's not something that I have felt as if like should be, or I want to be part of my life, to be on social media as much as I have been. But look how much I have been. So it's like, it's this crazy fucking world where even myself, it's like, yo, this is fucking crazy, dude. Like, for years you've been fucking on social media and you don't even like social media, like not like that. The thing is, I've needed to use it more as a tool, to fight a hex, to fight psychological problems I was having, to figure out what the hell was going on in the world. And like it seemed to be the best tool to use at the time. I didn't know what's going on. And it's kind of like the whole hex thing too. It's like, I feel as if people, 'cause I know that has to sound crazy, but it's like, it didn't start out like, oh, I have this whole plan involved of like, I'm gonna do this, try to spell or get myself out of what's going on with me, and like, it may end up affecting the world, like, again, for me, let's not forget, a week ago, I woke up and very logically, not even with crazy thoughts, that's what got me kind of scared about it. Very logically, I thought to myself, I should grab a knife and I should hurt someone as soon as I can. That was my logical conclusion over and over throughout the day, and it wasn't a crazy conclusion. It wasn't like my thoughts were scattered and I can't think. It was very like, that seems to be, and actually adds up when you do the like kind of cons and pros or whatever, the best thing to do. And so that obviously somewhat concerned me. And then fucking I get through my week. And then Saturday, I wake up fucking Saturday. There was that fucking, again, that mass shooting at the office shit. I had that premonition or whatever. And then Saturday, I didn't have a premonition about the fucking Islam dude with the knife thing. But it's exactly pretty much what I was thinking of doing. To clarify, a person who supposedly is a follower of the Nation of Islam attacked 2 guards at the Capitol. And then they killed him, which was pretty much exactly what was my plan to do. So that was kind of, it kind of just threw me off, man, because like, I had that premonition on Wednesday about that office shit. And then the Islam thing happened, and I was like, fuck, dude, like, that's crazy. That's exactly what I was thinking of doing. And I read it at the time that was basically exactly a week after the same time that I had thought to myself, I'm going to just leave my house right now with a knife and hurt someone. Like, it was pretty much the exact same time, like pretty much exactly a week afterwards. So that threw me off for Saturday. It kind of just, it was like, fuck, I had plans on what I wanted to do and get done on that day. But mentally, between all the premonitions and then it's just not having really anybody to talk to about this shit, makes it much more difficult, because it's like, I feel as if I can know the line between what's crazy and what's not, but it becomes a lot, dude. I like in the last couple of months, in the last month, even not just a couple of weeks, I've had a couple premonitions of mass shootings, and that just is what it is. It's fairly intense emotionally, because it's kind of like you get this feeling of like, this is some weird shit that I got to pay attention to. I don't know why the fuck I got to pay attention to this. Like that Asian girl, like I still even have her vision in my head that I saw at Safeway. And then, it's like these nagging feeling of like, dude, do these posts, man. If you don't do these posts, some people are going to get hurt. And then it's kind of like to me, it feels as if like, who's menacing me? Like, what the fuck is, like, how the fuck am I this special that if I don't do these posts, people are gonna get fucking hurt? Nobody's even paying attention to these fucking posts as it is, supposedly. So how the fuck are people gonna get hurt if I don't do shit? You know what I mean? And then people get hurt. And then it's like, fuck. And then because I don't have like people around, you know what I mean? A lot of times it's like, it's hard to fucking explain it. Like the Safeway thing, I don't have anything, I don't have it like documented or whatever. Like I didn't take a picture of the fucking girl at Safeway or whatever. But it just is what it is. And the Office one, at least, like that one, there's a lot of other things going on, but it was part of my writing, or part of one of my lives right before it happened. And so, for other people, that may not be enough. I know for me, just is what it is. That was just one of many other things that were telling me there was going to be another mass shooting involving offices. I just didn't know. I couldn't figure out what, because this is not like my shit. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what I'm saying. It almost feels somewhat menacing, but at the same time, it's an expected result. But it's kind of, it makes me, that sucks as well, because it's like on top of every fucking thing else that I got going on, out of fucking everything else, then, what do it's like this shit, and it's like, so there's that. Anyway, I definitely need to figure out how to talk less on this though, because there's yeah, I just do. I wanna get a little better, but it seems as if I was able to get back to my writing, and I at the very least can say that I've been impressed with myself with writing, and being able to express myself better. That's what's shit too. It's like I can't even. Oh my god, I definitely feel like I could go on forever about it, but it's just so crazy that I couldn't even read my own writing. Sometimes, most of these lives, for the most part, they don't bother me in the sense of like, yeah, it's like I'm definitely talking longer than I need to, but I'm not necessarily rambling for the most part. Um, and so, and I feel as if I could understand myself, and again, since I'm living this weird world of this is how special I am. People won't even critique me. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't necessarily know one way or the other, but it's again, any suggestions to me. The only way I can kind of gauge whether or not it seems as if I'm making sense is if I can make if I could understand what other people are saying, and they seem to be saying things in the same manner or same style and same language that I'm using, and I'm also saying things, then it seems as if that we're both equally understandable. Uh, Without having other people's input, is I don't have any gauge on it, so um, it seems as if to me, um, I'm not at a level in which no one can understand what's going on. But I am at a level in which, for some reason, still people feel as if it is either not necessary. It's not even that it's not necessary. It's a hesitation or trepidation. It's very odd. You would think I'm the devil. You know what I mean? Like I spoke to someone the other day that, like, as odd as it sounds, I mean, it's a real person. I believe his name is Aiden. You know what I mean? He just exists. You could find him or whatever. But I could say that I believe whether he was either possessed by the devil, or you know what I mean, like being used. As our interaction happened and the way the conversation went, I can truly fucking say that. And yet, uh, what was I gonna say? Oh, and yet, basically, no one. You know what I mean? It's odd for there be no reaction to that. But then again, I guess it's odd for me to feel as if like that's not a scary thing to me. So, oh man, yeah. Anyway, let's enjoy Monday.